Hello and welcome everybody back to 90 Plus Podcast, where stoppage time never runs out, and you already know the hot takes are going to keep on coming. We're your host. I'm Victor,
I'm Fabio.
and let's get this started. So, where should we start? Because there's a lot of things going on, but more importantly than anything, football's back. The Premier League, the Spanish League, Bundesliga coming up this week, Ligue 1 coming up this week, and City A coming up this week.
Yeah, it was a long summer without watching our leagues plays and stuff. So, as a soccer fan or a football fan too, and also relating to all other football fans, we're happy that soccer is back.
More than anything, as Barca fans, we're happy that football is back. But let's start off somewhere that we were kind of talking a lot about last episode, and that's the Premier League. I want to stop with the two horses leading this race because we predicted that was what was going to happen. Manchester City and Liverpool. Obviously, I know that it's the beginning of the season. I'm not saying that's going to be, it's a tight race for Manchester and for Liverpool.
It's barely the first game, but they're coming in strong. Like, they performed their first week and they're on top of the table for that same reason.
So start off with Liverpool then. They opened the Premier League up on Friday, 4-2, correct? Bournemouth. Yeah. Wonderful game. A lot of ups and downs. So Liverpool goes up 2-0. Then they tied 2-2 at like the 80th. And then
76 minutes.
76 minutes. There you go. Thank you for that. And then they end up coming back. Chiesa scores a 3-2. And Salah closes it out 4-2. I just thought it was funny that watching the game, one of the things that I noticed the most was knee sliding. And I don't know why I noticed that, but like everyone was knee sliding for the celebration. I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, any takeaways from the Liverpool game?
Yeah, Liverpool, they came on top. They won 4-2. I was going to say they were playing good. There was a couple times where they were a little bit shaky, especially in the defense. Konate and Van Dijk in the back, but there were some times where they didn't close the strikers fast enough, and that essentially hurt them. They let a couple goals pass through where they could have put more pressure on the striker, but they didn't. But I guess Liverpool's attacking line was looking more dangerous than Bournemouth's. So Chiesa came in from being sub. He didn't have a lot of playing time last year. So I feel like he was trying to prove himself, and he did. He essentially ended up scoring not the last, but the goal that gave him the lead. And then Salah, just doing the Salah stuff, he wanted to score, and he was able to score last minute. I think all of them celebrated with the Diego Jota number.
Which is fair. I mean, the tragic passing of Diego Jota a couple of weeks back.
Do you think like maybe this would be like a catalyst for them to be like, we're going to perform this year too for it? Or
I hope that they do, and I kind of figured that they would. That's why I had chosen them as my favorites along with Manchester City to take the league. Also, just they've been performing well the entire, like, ever since last season. Let's not forget they were on top of the Champions League table and got knocked out to the eventual champions PSG. But they got reinforced. They did lose a couple players. I mean, we saw Hugo Ekitike. He scored. He presented himself to the fans.
Oh, he definitely did.
1-0 opened up the scoring. Gakpo on the left side also got his goal. And then Chiesa coming in as a sub. And obviously, the party couldn't end without Salah. So that was really good. On Bournemouth's side, though, I wanted to mention Antoine Semenyo. He got both goals, and both were like beautifully crafted goals. I think one of them, maybe both of them, were on a counterattack. One of them I just remember, I think the one that was from counterattack outside the box, I think that was a 2-2 tie. Oh, what a beautiful goal. We've seen a lot of beautiful football this week, but I'm surprised. I know that he just signed a 5-year extension with Bournemouth, but I think maybe I honestly haven't seen him much before, but I think he's ready for a bigger club, or maybe it was just like, a one game wonder, but we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's just one game in, so I feel like maybe that's a little too much to say, but you never know. These players to start from the first game to the end of the season, they're trying to show what they got, how good they are, and then just they're trying to show their presence in a big stage.
For sure. Aside from that, I might be saying this all season long, but those Liverpool kids, man.
And they do look nice, I'll tell you that. You
I,
know which one looked nice too? I've seen them today.
which one?
The Arsenal one. The Arsenal
Yeah, yeah,
jersey
yeah.
did look nice today. I was like,
Arsenal's nice, no doubt about it. But
yeah.
I still think Liverpool so far has been my personal kid of the season. The red is just beautiful. Long sleeve. I prefer long sleeve shirts. I mean, so you could see. Um, Beautiful. The three stripes, classy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such an upgrade from last year and the year before. And not to throw shade at Nike or anything, but those Adidas stripes just sorry, I know we're going off topic a little bit. I just think they're so clean. With that, we then move on to the Manchester City game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, any first takeaways from that?
Yeah, Man City, they came to perform. They show that they're still one of the top teams in the Premier League. 4 goals on their
Yeah,
opening day. They're on top of the table because of the goal difference. Um, Wolves, it's a good team, but obviously, like when you put them compared to a team like Man City, we knew that Man City was going to be the favorite, but didn't think they were going to win like 4-0. I was giving them maybe like a 2-0, 2-1. Obviously, Man City was the
yeah.
favorite to win, but they won by a good amount. Holland with 2 goals.
Rangers with
Um,
one, Cherokee with one.
hmm
I've been saying this since last season. I mean, I watch AC Milan, so I've watched Tiani Rangers for a while now. He's phenomenal. He played lights out in his Premier League debut with City. The assist that he gave to Holland, or it might have been second assist. Yeah, he set up. I think Doku, and then Doku got the assist on the first goal. Holland, I'm not 100% sure on that, but just beautiful. He's dancing around the defenders, reminded me of, I don't even know. I want to say like the pass reminded me of like a Kevin De Bruyne style pass, but just the agility to get around the defenders was beautiful. Then he also gets on the scoreboard, which he deserved to. Um, he's been playing phenomenal, and yeah, I think City really got a steal with him. And then obviously Shirky comes off the bench and a banger. I think all season long, or I guess not all season long, but at least what we saw in the Club World Cup that season and what we saw in Manchester City in preseason, Shirky's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
And that Shirky Reindeers 1-2 punch, and then you get Holland to top it off. Like if you feed Holland, he's gonna score. He's gonna get the goals. I think the
Yeah.
problem that they had last year was that he was going hungry because he didn't have that person who was feeding him. But this year, oh, the race for the Golden Boot's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time seeing the team play. I feel like last season something they struggled with was the communication between the
Yeah.
defensive line and the goalkeeper. There was a lot of times where um the center backs they were pass it back, but like there was just some miscommunications. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because the rumor is that, and it might not even be a rumor, might was already confirmed. Um, Donnarumma
Yeah,
will be
to
at City,
City,
yeah, and then Edison to Galactus, I think, or something.
Galatasaray. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing the same thing. I really want to know a little bit more about that whole Donnarumma PSG fallout because I'm a little confused. So Fabrizio reports that Donnarumma is leaving
hmm
PSG. I think it shocks everyone because you come from the team that just won the Champions League. You were a central piece to that team.
hmm
You performed great in the Club World Cup, and then they don't want to renew you. Are you asking for too much money? Or,
I
like,
I think the money was a part of it. He was
yeah,
asking for more money. I mean, you were an essential key into winning that Champions League, top performing season and stuff like that. And obviously, like if you're part of that team, you're one of the reasons why they kept winning. Then I guess you should be demanding more money, but I don't think it was just they couldn't come to an agreement. I feel like PSG has started to realize that they don't need to spend
crazy amount
record
of money.
level money in order to have a team that performs. Chemistry works a lot better.
If you have a good coach, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that PSG was so focused on getting those cups that
Hmm.
they in the past years they spent record setting like essentially spending money on
Yeah,
players with first Neymar, Mbappe's contract when they kept bringing world star players, they were
Messi.
bringing yeah, and then it got to a point where they were like, we're bringing the players, the chemistry is not there, we're suffering, and now that they're a team that has more chemistry, they're able to see like, hey, one player is not going to define us. We're able to get a replacement. Um,
So here's the thing before we continue on that. I want to touch on two subjects. One, obviously, continue on the Donnarumma, but two, I also kind of want to veer off and give Spurs fan a little bit of hate for what happened midweek, and we'll definitely get to that. First, with Donnarumma, I understand, when you're tight for money. So I understand it from a club, for example, like us, Barca, right?
Hmm.
Like we don't have the money to be like, hey, Ter Stegen, we were going through it. We're going through it with Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen
Hmm.
wants to be, the captain. He wants to be the starting goalkeeper. We go and bring John Garcia. Like we have Chesney at goal. Like we have so many options, and we're tight at money. We're having issues with Ter Stegen because of that, and a whole bunch of other things. When you're tight on money, I understand. When you're a club like PSG, like Man City, who get the petrodollars, right? Like what we call them, like you got the money, pay the man.
Hmm.
Respectfully, like this is what I think separates a team like Real Madrid and their prestige and PSG. Real Madrid is not scared to spend that money.
Oh, they're not.
I
They're
mean,
not.
we've seen it before. They got Mbappe on technically like a free transfer, and then they gave him a signing bonus of like $100 million.
Hmm.
When Courtois needed a new contract, he got the contract. He's been injured out and a bit, right? But when their players need new contracts, and this is something that I admire about Real Madrid, they got the money, they're funding, they don't care.
Hmm.
They're top of the pyramid for a reason.
If you're performing in their team, then you're getting paid.
Yeah, and it's like I think we could all agree Donnarumma is one of the top. I would put him top three goalkeepers right now in the world. Would you
Hmm.
agree? So
Yeah.
if you have such a good player, just pay the man. You got the money. Stop the pettiness. Like this is what keeps PSG sometimes from becoming a better club. Like dumb decisions like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable, but at the same time, it's like, yes, Donnarumma is pretty good, and if you're spending a lot of money, then like you have high expectations of him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of like up and coming goalkeepers, and if you see that you're able to develop a player and fits well with the team and stuff, like I could see why they went that way too. At the end of the day, we're just gonna have to wait the entire season to see how it goes. You wanted to talk about this, but then the Tottenham and PSG game, um, PSG went down 2-0.
And they came
Um,
back. Yeah.
they
I
came
think
back.
I think they picked up right where they left off last season, which was like, you could score on us, we're gonna score on you. It was harder to score on them last season, I feel like.
Hmm.
But yeah, that choking gene that Tottenham has is unmatched, like completely unrivaled. You go up 2-0. It was what the I need to double check this because I know I'm gonna get burned in the comments, but it was like I believe like the 80th
80
minute.
something minutes when
Yeah.
PSG first
And
scored.
then PSG scores one, brings them back in the game. But if you were watching the game, the entire second half, Tottenham was just scared. They were playing, they're parking the bus, which understandable. You're up 2-0, right? But still, like, have a little bit more firepower. Have a little bit, like, keep the ball a little bit longer. The best way to keep them from scoring is if you have the ball. They can't score if you keep the ball to yourself. Keep possession. PSG takes over possession. You could tell that they were going to get a goal. I'm not sure if you could tell that they were going to tie it up, but you could tell that PSG was rallying forward, right? They get the second goal, and then it's like everyone knows the story. Like, okay, great, here it comes.
Hmm.
You take penalties, you win the coin flip, you get to decide where the penalties are going to be taken, which is by the end of the stadium that has your fans in it. Phenomenal. Already a foot up. You get to decide who shoots first. You decide to shoot first, which, by the way, go look at the statistics for like how many games on penalties are won by the team that shoots first. You shoot first, then you go up on a pen, right?
Hmm.
At that moment, it's like, okay, you're redeeming yourself. You're gonna close it out. Are you finally gonna win some worthy like silverware, right? And then you go and miss two penalties. Like, is the like, what is it with the Tottenham players? Like, is the pressure really that high? Like, are you guys just used to being such a inconsistent and not super valuable club that it just you can't step up when it really matters?
Well, here are my thoughts on the game. Before going to penalties, Tottenham was up. 80 minutes, you've been up 2-0. Realistically, I do understand when you're up 2-0, you have a cup in the line, you want to be as safe as possible, and by safe, that means parking the bus. understandable tactic. You already know it's coming.
Yeah.
However, parking the bus, but they're not doing it well against literally one of the most dangerous team that has a strong attacking line. That have players that will run in behind you and just provide that ball into the box. And they're gonna have 3, 4 players ready for the ball in the box, and that's essentially how they tied it up. And the other thing is like, okay, you're playing parking the bus, but at the same time, you're not putting pressure on them while once they're outside of your box, you're not putting pressure. That's essentially how the first goal came. It was an uncontested shot. All he had to do was keep it on target, low corner. That's it. Yeah, like they didn't came to push him, and like if you're gonna do park the bus, you gotta make sure you're still putting that pressure. Because you still want
You
to.
gotta make sure you make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Don't let them shoot easily. Don't let them dribble around you. Don't let them feel comfortable. Because when PSG feel comfortable, they're dangerous. And it's not just PSG, it's other clubs. And I feel like, again, this is where the mediocrity from Spurs comes in, you know? Come on, man. Like, you're a professional club. Play like a professional club. Like,
But
all jokes aside, like,
here's the second part. Once it came into the penalties, I thought it was gonna be 50-50. Because obviously PSG had Donnarumma. Donnarumma is
Donnarumma didn't
no, but like before.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the season they had Donnarumma, top goalie, super tall, has a big reach. He has performed well in penalties. And then now you're bringing this new goalkeeper.
Lucas
He's
Chevalier.
under the heat because he's like, hey, you're your first game, you're in penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
And then Spurs.
And he handled it well. I mean.
Yeah. So you're kind of in goalkeeper wise, you're in a 50-50.
Yeah.
Both of them don't have an advantage or a disadvantage. I feel like where the game was coming from, like what was going to decide was the players.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, when I saw Vitinha miss, I'm like, oh, I see them nervous. I see PSG nervous. And then Tottenham, they scored the first one. I'm like, okay, some of the Tottenham players, they look like they're solid. They're concentrated and stuff.
Yeah.
But then that wasn't the same story for the rest of the players, and it was the opposite for PSG. You saw them PSG players taking it up. They were performing. I felt like a lot of players were just trying to like confuse the goalkeeper by having a slow run up, and then they would just mess up their shot.
Yeah.
At that point, literally when Tottenham missed their second shot due to a slow run up, I'm like, at this point, just run, kick it with power, place it well.
Make sure it's on target. Like, I mean, if you've ever played soccer, like that's the first thing that they tell you. Make sure it's on target.
Yeah,
right?
because at this point, both of the goalkeepers were under the pressure. Like you didn't need to add extra pressure.
Yeah,
they were already under it.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tottenham did again a little too much. And that gave PSG more of the advantage. Yeah.
Which now, I mean, we've talked about that. We've talked about the Gigi Donnarumma. I mean, if he goes to City, like that'd be a phenomenal signing for City and getting back into the Prem. Now that we had that little side project, little side topic. Yeah. I mean, Tottenham came back. They won 3-0 this week. Saturday, I believe it was, against Burnley, if I'm not wrong. So good comeback for them. We talked about City.
I also have a quick question, and the fans. I want to also hear your opinion. Okay. There's a new rule in there's a new rule in the Premier League where if the goalkeeper holds the ball for 8 seconds, the opposite team gets a corner. We saw this rule be enforced in the Spurs and Burnley game. I heard about it, but realistically, like all the other rule that we have with goalkeepers holding the ball, I didn't think the ref was gonna essentially uphold it.
Yeah.
And once I saw that he upheld it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be something that's gonna take some time to get used to. So I want to hear, what is your opinion on it? Do you think that it was a good change just to have the flow of the game continuing to be less breaks, essentially have that flow continue? Or do you think it's just like another rule that is like a little bit unnecessary? But I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so guys, please drop comments below. We want to hear what you guys say. Obviously, we're going to discuss what we think, but it'd be interesting to know what other people think as well. I personally like the rule. I mean, I remember when I used to play in high school, when we would have fans at the game, it was really cool because what they what they would do is every time the goalkeeper had the ball, they would start screaming out loud the number. So goalkeeper would have the ball, and you would hear the fans in the stands, 1, 2, three,
Okay.
4, and so like kind of telling the ref like, hey, he's wasting time, right? I don't like the time wasting tactics. I guess I'm a little bit of a liar for that. I do like the tactics when, when your team is winning, when you're doing well, like everybody
I mean, we
knows,
all
like,
do.
right. To waste a little bit of time of like go to the corner and hold the ball there, dive a little bit more, play like, you're injured, you need help.
At
The
that point, it's part
goalkeeper,
of the game,
yeah, it's part
realistically.
of the game. So I I guess like I understand why it's needed though. I do hate those games that are, especially in the dying embers and the dying moments. If you're very close, right? Like I guess this game wasn't such a big deal, but like think about like the PSG Tottenham. If Tottenham or PSG, like if their keepers were just continuously wasting time, like wouldn't you have been like, hey man, this has been a good game. I want to see more of it. Like
Yeah.
so on that level, I do appreciate it. I think it's going to be one of those things, kind of like when VAR came in or goal line technology, where like at first people were like, "Oh, it's changing the essence of the sport," and maybe you're right. But overall, I think the change is a positive one, and help to it'll continue to help to keep the sport flowing and being smooth. So I
Yeah,
appreciate it, but
I
I don't know.
definitely
What
do
do you
agree with
think?
that. I don't know. Is this gonna be It's gonna be a little bit weird because obviously this rule it's just for the Premier League
Yeah,
and not for other leagues or
I
competitions.
do think FIFA was trying to implement it to more leagues, and if I'm not wrong, they won for the 2026 World Cup.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's definitely one of those rules that we might just be seeing for few leagues, but it
It's
might be
gonna be
coming
coming
to
up.
more stuff.
Okay.
But continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's fair. I don't know. Like I was saying before, we did have the rule where goalkeeper couldn't have the ball for more than 7 seconds. Was it enforced? No, it was never enforced. You had
No.
goalkeepers be on the ground for 5 seconds,
Mhm.
they get up, and then they hold the ball for another 7 seconds. You lost 15 seconds right there. Um, so I guess it does make sense in having the game just continue, not a lot of delays, and it does make the game more interesting. Like you're not just gonna try to play it in the back and
Yeah.
then go for the ball and stuff like that. I mean, there's still other tactics that you could exploit in order to waste time, but like removing this probably won't stop all of it, but it'll be helpful in that part. And I just want to see how it goes throughout the season. I kind of want to see if there is like any goals that come from it, and like if they will be controversial,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's on a like a game that's super tight, and then. Because then it'll be like, was that really 8 seconds? Did the goalkeeper, I mean,
Right.
was the ref counting it correctly and stuff like that?
Yeah. Because I
Um,
mean, the way that I think about it is a scenario: you're tied 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, whatever it is, right? And
yeah.
your goalkeeper holds on for too long. The opposing team gets a corner kick. They score out the corner kick, and out of a sudden it's like, well, why did you hold on the ball for so long? But if you did, was it actually long enough for a corner or not? So I see
Yeah.
what you're saying, and I
I
think it'll be
mean,
interesting.
reps are definitely like they're human people. I mean,
Yeah.
they're humans too. Like they make mistakes. So
Yeah.
like, maybe at the heat of the moment, what happens if the goalkeeper actually holds it for over 8 seconds and the ref just doesn't call it,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna hear like, in the
Well, I don't see that being a
comments and stuff
problem
that
unless it's Real Madrid.
because it's always gonna go for Real Madrid.
Yeah. But without getting like too much more deep into it, I think we cover that. I kind of just want to close off on the Premier League for the week because I want to talk about something
Oh,
else.
I know what you want to talk about.
But two lackluster games, both Chelsea Crystal Palace 0-0.
Yeah,
Expected a lot more from Chelsea.
I honestly I expected a lot more from Chelsea, but at the same time, uh, I gotta give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, they came back from just winning a trophy for like the first time in over I think 100 years. So I guess Crystal Palace right now is a performing team. Like they're doing well. So for them to hold Chelsea, I could see that. Obviously, we all thought Chelsea, they won the FIFA World Club World
Yeah.
Cup, that they were gonna perform. But I guess with Chelsea in the Premier League, it's also just different. Like they perform sometimes, they don't, they struggle and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
I think that the inconsistency in Chelsea is just what gets me. Like I think they have enough of a depth in squad, and I want to talk about depth in squad a little bit later because I do think it's a lot more necessary in football now.
mhm.
But they're just slacking. They're just slacking. I don't even know what to say. I mean, aside from
Consistency.
consistency, yeah, like you need to come in and perform, especially in like the Prem being like either the first or two, depending on your opinion, most competitive leagues in the world. Like you can't lack that competitive edge because it'll eat you, and that's the reason why you will lose points, and those points are the reason why you'll lose the title ultimately.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
in the Premier League, you're always fighting for a top four position, and like every point counts. Realistically, this past season, if you're in the top four, the difference were like 1 or 2 points.
yeah.
Some of the teams were actually
Like I
tied and
mean,
went to goal
Champions League
difference.
football,
Yeah,
like I mean,
more
in a
money.
lot, yeah.
I mean, Chelsea, they need to make up some of the money.
Yeah, yeah, for that's who you should be investigating. I know they got like a 25 million.
Also, Man City.
Yeah, Man City 150 charges of financial irregularity. Come on, dude. Like we all know something's going on there. What's going on with that case? Someone needs to tell me because I have a Man City friend and I'm just dying to make fun of him. But 115 cases of financial irregularities. Like, come on,
And they get away with it.
right? Like, but anyhow, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, to finish up the week for the Premier League, Manchester United loses to Arsenal. Nothing new there. I was expecting it. I kind of hate the Manchester United downfall, but it is what it is. With that being said, I expected a lot more from Arsenal. I mean, we talked here last week about how we really thought Arsenal could be one of those teams that made a push for the title this season and how maybe they got their stuff together, but I don't know. I think I didn't see enough of them. Victor Gyökeres, I expected a lot more. I mean, granted, I think we were holding him to a certain standard because he was performing lights out in a weaker league like the Portuguese league, but still,
Yeah,
you expected him to do more, and I don't know. I think again, not to draw too many conclusions from one game, but if this continues, if this is a game that we're going to be seeing from Arsenal, be ready for number 3 or number 4 because even that number 2 spot's going to look a little heavy for y'all.
yeah.
Any
Um,
takeaways from that?
I do have a couple. So Arsenal won. Obviously they were the more favorite to win.
Mhm.
Um, but realistically, I don't know. I watched the game and I didn't feel like I feel like both of the teams were kind of scared to perform, or
Yeah,
like there just wasn't a lot of chemistry. There was a lot of unnecessary passes that they were just trying to force the ball so much forward that they just kept losing it. And obviously, Arsenal won. It was that was a mistake from the goalkeeper. The
yeah,
goalkeeper could have stopped it. He could have been a little bit more aggressive. If you're in that position and you're going for the ball, you could be aggressive. The ref is going to be on your side, sincerely. I think it was a mistake from the goalkeeper. But then, other than that, there wasn't a lot of times where like either team seemed dangerous. A lot of times they were just taking shots just to take shots. There weren't role plays. There weren't like a lot of
there wasn't
key.
danger behind them.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of key
You know
passes
what
and
there
stuff
wasn't?
like
I feel
that.
like there wasn't enough intention behind the play building behind the game. It just feel like it was a preseason game, like they were getting back into the league. And like I
Hmm.
said, that's gonna cost you goals. Goals are gonna cost you points. Points are gonna cost you like positioning, and that's ultimately gonna cost you the league. And we saw it with Liverpool, we saw it with City. They didn't come and play around. They came and they got right to business from day one, right?
Yeah,
Arsenal, that's what you're missing. You're missing that extra step. You're missing
yeah. I
that.
didn't see the fire in them
Yeah,
today
I didn't at
at
all.
all.
But enough of the Prem. Let's get talking about the good stuff.
Love it.
Barcelona beats Mallorca 3-0 away.
That was a crazy opening game for Barcelona. I was not expecting
It
that.
was crazy opening week in Spanish football overall, La Liga. I think on between Saturday and Friday there was like 3 or 4 red cards, and it was crazy. 2 red cards alone in the Barca Mallorca game, which I want to get into now. Um, so yeah, on the one hand, here let's do this. Let's start with the lineup, Barcelona side. We say what we think from there. We'll go on to the score and then big takeaways.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So lineup. Anything that caught you off guard? I think there was a couple of things that I didn't particularly like, but I'll let you go first.
So one thing was that Eric Garcia started in the right back
Mm-hmm.
instead of Kunde.
Did not
Um,
like that at all. That was like the first one I was gonna make, but
yeah,
continue.
but
Sorry.
I don't know. I do have to say that Eric Garcia, he obviously got more playing time last season when
Mm-hmm.
Kunde got injured, and he came up. He performed. He was
Yeah.
scoring goals. As of right back, that is not something that you see. And then they were also placing him as a center back from time to time,
Yeah.
and he was
And
performing.
as a center defensive mid too, like he's been a plurifunctional player. Like
Yeah.
I think he's under Flick. He's one of those players that has revived.
Mhm.
Continues.
So I could see why Flick put him. Like he's
Yeah.
been performing. If Kunde was not feeling 100% and you have this player that's performing and is doing well, then like it's obviously a good decision to
Hmm.
put. Kunde, I do believe he was 100%. I didn't see anything that he was feeling any uncomfortable or anything like that. But you never know. We're not
No.
part of the team. We're not part of the medical team to know all the full story.
So from
I
my
personally will start Kunde first,
yeah,
but Eric Garcia is a good second choice.
quickly just
Yeah.
to touch on what you were saying about Kunde. From my understanding, Flick gave out a press conference in which he talked about Eric Garcia. He said that he loves how he's been playing in preseason. Uh, yeah, nothing. He didn't leave like a big hole or anything to be desired. But dude, Kunde was like, uh, for me personally, and I know a lot of people have other opinions, but for me personally, he was the top right back, top 2 or 3 for sure in the world
Oh yeah.
last year. I love Kunde. He's a phenomenal player. We just gave him a contract extension. He should be starting. My understanding is we need that depth of squad, and I don't hate it as much when you consider that we should have beat Mallorca and we did. So you want to rest some of the players up early. I mean, obviously Lewandowski's still coming back from injury, so we didn't see him. Chesney wasn't even on the bench, I think.
I don't think he's
Um,
registered.
he's not.
He's not because backup goalkeeper was
Yeah, John
Peña.
Really?
Garcia was
I did see that Peña was a backup keeper, but I didn't know that Chesney wasn't registered. I just thought he was dealing with some other stuff.
uh,
Um, well,
no, he's not even in the bench.
yeah. Aside from that, I think the remainder of the starting 11 was basically what we expect. You have a back four, Balde, Cubarse, Araujo, Garcia. Again,
I gotta stop you right there.
yeah, go.
And the back four, how do you feel with that back line?
I miss Inigo for sure. I think
definitely do
Araujo is a
too.
lot more of a brute force. And I think he could make dumb mistakes at times that cost us a lot. Inigo, man, it just makes me sad talking about it, man.
I
But
personally, I think Christensen should have played over Araujo.
really,
But I think obviously because he's the captain, he's the
is he
first
still in
captain right
Japan?
now. Uh,
For those of you who
that was
don't
so
know,
bogus.
Barcelona apparently left Christensen in Japan in the
They
Japan
did a
tour.
Home
So
Alone.
yeah, poor guy.
But I don't know. I do feel like Christensen has adapted to that offside trap more than Araujo, and then Araujo struggled last season. He left so many men onside, which led to goals.
Yeah,
But I feel like Christensen has been more consistent with it.
for sure.
Araujo,
I
there was a couple late tackles in that game
yeah,
where I was like, "There's
my
no
bad.
you're up 2-0, no reason to be coming that strong."
Which kind of like brings the point of what I was saying. I just think he's too brute, and I think ultimately he does end up costing us a lot. I would love to
Especially in
see.
those big games.
Yeah, I would love to see Christensen there more. I would also love to see Garcia there more, and then Kunda outright. But I like that we're rotating the squad a little bit, especially for like the weaker games, because we want. So I guess with that, what I'm saying is like going forward, I do think Kunde gets the preferential treatment over the right hand side,
Hmm.
and Garcia is used more of like we said, a player functional to fill in the gaps. With that being said, the depth that we now have is so much better than what we did last season. Obviously, we got some players that we got back. We brought in Rashford, who could be used as a striker left wing. We've been using him as a striker. We got sorry, I was Casado, right. Marc Casado, we got him back. Dude, I'm in love with Casado. The way
Do
that
you
he
heard
plays.
that he's open to be sold?
Yeah,
Or
so
Barcelona put him that he could
yeah,
be
yeah.
sold if
So
someone wants to
that
buy
was a
him.
rumor between him and Fermin that they apparently both of them like they were trying to get rid of them. I think Chelsea was offering like 60 million, which understand honestly, that's a great deal for whoever buys them. Casado was phenomenal.
Hmm.
But yeah, they also had what was this guy's name? He tore his ACL like at the same time I tore mine. He was a center defensive mid. Started the season like the first game he tore his ACL.
I'm drawing a blank. I know who you're talking about, but I'm drawing a blank on his name.
I will remember and I
It's
will get
not.
back to you guys in that.
Oh,
But
it's a Pablo Torres.
no.
He's playing for Mallorca now. But what you looked that up, I would say the sentiments. The young Pedri, of course. Those are gonna be your starter.
best center back, best center mid in the world without a
Pedri.
doubt. Pedri, yeah.
I was actually a little bit happy that he started Firmino over Danny Olmos. For me, I do feel like he's a little bit more goal hungry, so he always wants to be in the box.
Quick thing. Marc Bernal, that's what it is.
Oh, Bernal
Oh,
is good.
he's a Sergio Busquets regen, phenomenal player. I'm so excited to see him have a couple more minutes. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was happy that he started for me over Dani Olmos. There was a time where Dani Olmos he's in the pitch, but you forget about
Are you talking about Pedri or Fermin?
Fermin.
Fermin, yeah.
Yeah, Fermin and Dani Olmos. He started for me Lopez over Dani Olmos.
So with that, okay, this is gonna be super weird to kind of add all together. They're both phenomenal players. They're not. Neither of them is consistent enough. The problem with Firmino is that like when he comes in as a sub, he's usually scoring. He scores on like 70% of the games he comes on.
Yeah.
So you're like, why isn't he a starter?
But
when he's a starter, he's not consistent enough. With Olmo, it's kind of the same story, you know. So I would personally, I mean, I would keep. It's hard because I don't even know if like I would start Firmino when he's a better super sub. I would probably start Olmo, Firmino as the super sub.
I don't. Also, like our striker was Torres this time, and I feel like Firmino does have also good chemistry with Torres.
Yeah.
I do feel like Olmo has better chemistry with Lewandowski for sure.
Yeah, no. I think ideally in our starting 11, it would be basically everything we had today. Just switch Firmino for Olmo, Torres for Lewa, obviously injury, and then Garcia for Kunde. But aside from that, let's get into the actual game. So Barcelona pick up right where they left off. Rafinha picks up right where he left off. Has to be the future Ballon d'Or. Anyhow, minute 7, phenomenal cross from Lamine, right?
Mallorca, they fell asleep. They had literally 4 defenders in the back line, and they still left him space. Yeah. How do you leave him space like that?
Great way to finish it. I think that like we've seen Rafinha do volleys, we see him like tap-ins, everything, but I love the way that the ball bounced and like the header that he gave it was just like, I don't know. I think it showed me a little bit something different from Rafinha, So I like that a lot. I think he shows that like, hey, last season wasn't a fluke. I'm here to stay. I'm here to prove that I'm one of the best players in the world and phenomenal. So then we go up 2-0 with Ferran Torres. Really weird goal. Yeah. Did you see that play? For those of you who haven't seen it, highly recommend just search the score Mallorca Barcelona. It was super weird, a lot of controversy. On an open play, someone hits
Lamine Yamal crosses the ball into the box and it hits the Mallorca
hits
defender.
One of the defender right in the head.
In the head.
The defender in the head sees where the ball is, throws himself on the floor, opens his arms as is to say like, "Hey, I'm injured." At that moment, the ref doesn't whistle. Ferran, rightfully so, continues to play the ball. I mean, you got to play to the whistle. Scores a banger outside the box, top 90. Then the ref whistles. Nobody's really sure what happens. Is he whistling because of the player that's down? Is he whistling because of the goal? The goal goes up. Mallorca goes crazy. There's a lot of ifs and buts and whatever. Really weird play. What's your take on that, though?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be as non-biased as possible. One, the cross was hard into the box, so I could see why the player will like go down. Like there's been times where I've been hit by like when I try to header and I header wrong, and then there's times when I'm like lightheaded and I'm like, okay, I need to like take it easy for a couple of seconds. If he fell down and it was a head injury, the ref should have called it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it was the player's fault at all from either of the teams. I think it was the referees. Yeah. If you see the player down, but you're not 100% sure, but then you put the whistle in your mouth, players are going to assume you're going to actually call the whistle. Now, here's the thing. Every soccer coach, if you play soccer and you had a coach, they're always going to tell you, play to the whistle. If the whistle doesn't, if you don't hear the whistle, you continue playing no matter what. And that's what Barcelona did. Yeah. And that's what Mallorca didn't do.
And that's what I feel like any team would have done, right? Like, if you have a doubt, play to the whistle. And I feel like, yes, it's being blown out of proportion because it's Barcelona. And if it would have been Madrid or if it would have been another top club, it would have been blown out of proportion as well. Agree with everything that you said. You play to the whistle. The other thing is that, like, as a defender, go back and just analyze the defender, how he throws himself on the floor. I understand. Like, I'm trying to make the point and make it clear. the player's health does come first.
Mm-hmm.
Completely understand that. I don't think that was so much of a health issue as it was like, I don't want to continue to play the ball, right?
I mean, I'm personally gonna disagree with you right there.
Mhm.
I feel like if it's a head injury, you always gotta be careful. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ref
no, for
should
sure.
always call if it's like a head injury. I know sometimes it might not be the best, but if he continues to do it, the ref is gonna catch on and it's gonna give him a yellow or a potential red. But if you're 50-50 about a head injury, then you should call it. Because at the end of the day, what happens is the score and the player actually did suffer a head injury. How much worse would that be?
I agree. I'm actually just want to see the replay here because, and like that's what I was trying to get at. So,
I mean,
Lamine crosses it.
Mm-hmm.
The player sees where he heads it towards, then throws himself on the floor, opens his hand, stops playing. Like, again, not to say, if it was against my team, yeah, I would have been mad too. Like, I understand why Mallorca fans are mad.
Yeah.
Completely understand. But hey, be mad at your players, be mad at the ref. You can't be mad at Barca because if you were on the other side, you wouldn't be mad. Barca did what had to be done. They played to the whistle. Yes, head injuries are, I think, the number one thing that we should be careful with. So realistically, what I think the call should have been, ref should have whistled, ball should have been stopped, and then fair play ball to Barcelona. However, I don't think, and making it super clear, because of that, I don't think it's Barcelona's fault. I don't think the goal should be taken away because at the end of the day, it's the ref's fault, right? Yeah. With that brings me to the next piece of drama. We have a scuffle between one of the players and Lamine Yamal, and he fouls Lamine Yamal, which honestly, for those of you who are saying that's not a foul, go watch some real football. That's a foul. Worthy enough of a yellow card. He already had a yellow card. He gets a second red. Do you believe it was worthy enough of a yellow card and a second red?
Yeah, I definitely do. So at first I'm not gonna lie, I thought the players was just gonna get a yellow because I didn't know that he already had a yellow because apparently he was from protest of the second goal.
Yeah.
And there's times where you see you don't know a player has a yellow because it happens off camera, but it happens. So when I see him pull the red, I was surprised. I'm like, did he change his mind? But no, the yellow was the serve. He was running into the box into a dangerous position. He was getting into his position to shoot. In the next 5 seconds, if you want to continue, he would have taken a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
If you come in and you come in from behind and you come in that strong and you miss the ball, as a player, you know that's going to be a yellow. Yes. And especially in so close and also doing it right in front of the referee.
Yeah.
Do I believe it was a yellow? Yes. Second yellow turns into a red. That's how it is. Yeah. Like if you know you're on a yellow, don't come in aggressive towards anyone.
Which brings us to the next red card.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a lot of banter on social media saying how that's not a red card, blah, 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 blah. Please Google Joan Garcia's face, bro. Just Google it. And if you're telling me that's a clean ball, you are not watching with your eyes, my dude. That was a red. There's no other way around it. The ball goes up. That was dangerous play. He gets some cleats to the side of his face. Automatic red. I don't have a doubt. Is there a doubt in your mind about that?
I personally, I was surprised that he got a yellow at first because I personally don't even feel like it was 50-50 yet. I saw it happen and I felt like the goalkeeper, Garcia, was going to get to it first. And I was surprised that the striker even tried going for it. Like, he's going to get for it. He's going to...
And then he gets mad. That's the crazy part. After he gets mad and the Mallorca fans start, like, I understand you're rooting for your team and everything, but then you start screaming at the ref. You as a player, you're like, I didn't touch him or whatever. Dude, you almost killed the guy. What do you mean you didn't touch him?
You shouldn't be kicking up to, like, someone's head level.
Dangerous play.
Like, no, like, it was a horrible tackle. 100% a red card. Like, even if you could be against Barcelona and everything, but, like, you also do have to agree, like, a red is a red. That was definitely a red. Like I said, I'm surprised he went for a yellow first. I thought it was a straight up red. I'm like, please have VAR take a look at this because he was like literally, again, he could give the player a concussion and stuff like that. And like, you gotta be careful of that. You gotta, like, if you see something dangerous and a player committing a bad foul, you have to essentially give them a red.
Which brings us up to the next play. Rafinha had a tackle in which he gets a yellow card. A
Hmm.
lot of people say that should have been a red. I personally agree. I think that should have been a red because if that was one of my players, like you are putting the health of another player at risk. It was a little bit high, but I think if it would have been higher, he could have even injured the player. That
Hmm.
definitely, in my opinion, it should have been a red. I understand that there are plays like that that are 50, not 50-50, but that when you're looking at it as a referee, you're like, okay, isn't it automatic red? Maybe not, but is there room for opinion? Sure. I still
Hmm.
think it was red. It should have been a red.
Yeah. So here's where I'm gonna come in, and I feel like it's like this for every tackle. It looked
Mm-hmm.
way worse in the picture rather than the video.
Yeah.
Yes, but both legs up in the air.
Yeah.
Usually, any tackle like that is considered like a red card worthy tackle. Um, he did came strong. Now, what I would say is that's on the picture from the video, and I could see why the ref was like maybe a little bit hesitant on giving the red. Was that
Yeah, the video looks a lot softer. He comes in, he does get the ball.
well? So essentially, what happened was the player that had the ball, the Mallorca player, he did a little switch of
Mhm.
direction last minute, and Rafinha slipped. That's why his
Yeah,
second
yeah,
leg was
yeah.
up in the air. But because of that slip, and he also at the same time with the force that he was coming, he took out the player.
Yeah.
Yellow card, 100%. Red card. If the referee gave him a red, I wouldn't have complained about it because I'm like, yeah, that was a dangerous tackle. I do understand that he slipped and he didn't mean to. But at the same time, you still got him. So I personally, I would have seen it if he would have gone to the VR, getting a red. I would have been like, that's 100% okay. Also, you're up 2-0 with
Yeah, there's
nine.
no need to do that.
Yeah. And this is where
That
I'm
that's
like,
ultimately
Rafinha and
yeah.
Raujo, I'm like, I understand it's the first game of the season. You want to give a statement that you're here to compete to win the league. But when it's 11v9 and you have hella subs and stuff, like, you don't need to come in that strong, realistically.
Yeah. Which brings me to a couple extra points to kind of close this section off. One, and let's do more of like a quick fire here. Were you happy with the score?
I was happy with the score. I was not happy with the performance.
Oh, that's. I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I wasn't happy with the score because I think it should have been more, but I like the elegance of how you put it.
Yeah.
I guess I was happy that we did win 3-0. Who could not be happy with that? But I think it should have been 4 or 5. And I think if our players would have been playing the way that they should have been playing, and they would have given this the effort that they should have given it, it would have reflected. I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, there was times where, like, you forgot Mallorca was playing with 9 men. They were
Mhm.
like, they were finding chances inside the box. I'm like,
We had a couple shots too that like we had a couple plays that were there should have been tap-ins. Where I know I remember one specifically that the ball gets crossed. I think from the Yamal. Ferran takes the ball. He takes a touch and then tries to shoot it. Lewa would have first timed in. That would have been in.
mhm.
But to
Yeah.
continue, I guess to close off on the game, 94th minute of the game, Lamine Yamal cuts in. We all know what's gonna happen. Dribbles one, dribbles two, top 90, golazo.
Yeah.
Um,
Banger.
Again, he picks up right where he left off last season. He's showing that he's not a one season wonder as well. If this kid continues playing like that Ballon d'Or is going to be sitting in Barcelona in no time.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Which brings me to a little game I want to play with you to kind of close things off today. I call it the over and under. So I'm going to tell you numbers. I'm going to tell you a player, and then you're going to tell me, are you going to take the over or under on them on the season, right?
Okay.
So let's start with Lamine Yamal. 20 over or under.
Over. He's shooting a lot more. And
Okay.
obviously, you shoot more, you have more chances of scoring.
Okay.
Which means higher
And
scores.
to be clear, this is going to be full all tournaments, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 30 over or under goals.
Can I have it just at 30?
At 30, that's fine.
Yeah.
Assists, 20 over or under.
Man, I definitely, I think he's gonna have more assists than goals.
More assists than goals.
Yeah, especially
So
when you
then
have like
35 over or under.
I would say like 35, but then that would put him at
That would put him at 65 goal
wow.
contribution.
Maybe like 20 to 25. Let's do 25 goals, 35 assists.
25 goals, 35 assists.
That'll put him at 60.
I like that.
I think a little too high, but
I'm going to say 25 goals, 37 assists. We'll check back at the end of the season, but I like that. Rafinha goals over under 30.
I think he's gonna be over 30. And the reason why I think that is one, he was scoring a lot last season,
Mhm.
but this season I feel like we're gonna see less of Lewandowski So
Yeah.
I think the next person up for penalties is Rafinha. So
Yeah.
if Lewin's not on the field and there's pens in the game, he's gonna take them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that will pull him a little bit over. That essentially was the main reason why Ronaldo was always the highest
Yeah.
scorer. He took all the penalties,
They got a
good
lot of free
tap-ins,
penalties.
yeah, all that stuff. Great scorer, but those penalties definitely helped them.
Yeah. So over under 30 goals, assists 20 over under.
I would say under 25.
Okay.
I think he's gonna score more than assists this season.
I agree with you. I will take Rafinha. I think he's going to be 35 goals. I'm going to keep him about 25 assists as well.
Mhm.
I would go with the other ones, but I think those are the only two that we could for sure say they're going to be starting. With that being said, let's close off on a little bit of a preview. So Real Madrid hasn't played as of today. They play Tuesday. Who are they playing? I don't.
I will say, I personally, I'm really interested in watching them play. I really
No, I
want to
mean,
see what Xavi did over the break, how he built his team. I had a lot of Madrid friends telling me that in the last game they saw Vinny track back for
that's
like
interesting.
defensive, and I'm like, is this? Are we talking about the same Real? Like, are
Yeah.
you serious? He tracked
Like
back.
not to say that I'm not interested in watching them. I think Madrid is one of those teams. Real Madrid is one of those teams that's very interesting to watch. They're playing Osasuna, right?
Mm.
Again, over under 2 goals in the game, over under from both teams.
I think Real is trying to set a statement. I think they're trying to score as many goals as possible this game. I definitely would think over two.
Yeah, 4 over under.
Oh man,
I think it ends 4-1. I think Madrid wins 4-1. I think their defense still has a lot of holes, and that's where the one comes in. But they do have a great attacking force and a lot of depth of squad. So I will take the over there.
I would say 3-1 if I'm being honest.
3-1. That's fair. So they play Osasuna on Tuesday, 2 p.m. We will talk about them next week. And one more thing before we close out, Atletico Madrid. They lose out to Espanyol 1-0. I mean, I had said this. They were giving me a little bit of a bad vibe.
2-1.
A 2-1? Sorry.
Alvarez opened up the goal for Atletico, and then Espanyol.
Oh
closed
yeah,
it
you're
back.
right. You're right. 2-1. We were talking about it when we were like, who gives you a good vibe, who gives you a bad vibe last episode. I've been saying it, man. I just don't see it. I think this is one of those years that it's going to be rough for Atletico and their fans. I feel really bad for
Coach Simeone.
no, Alvarez, Julian Alvarez, La Araña. He's a phenomenal player. I think he deserves to be in a better club, but to each their own. So
You
yeah,
just want him at Barca.
yeah, no, for sure. That's for sure. I mean, are you kidding me? Who doesn't? With that being said, so we have next week Barcelona is visiting, I think, Levante. Yep, Barcelona is visiting Levante. Over or under 4 goals to close off.
I think Flick is gonna have a conversation with them
Yeah.
that you need to perform. So definitely, I think over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your score prediction for Barcelona Levante next week?
If I'm being honest, I don't know that much about Levantes. I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know how they performed. I don't think they played this week so far. Yeah, I haven't heard about the score, but just because based on how Barcelona perform, I would say maybe like a 3-0 should be fine, or 3-1.
Yeah.
Again, I personally I like Barcelona, but one of the weakness right now is their
I think
defensive
4-0.
line.
I see what you're saying about their defensive line. I still think that offside trap is going to be dangerous. And I think going forward, we'll see what we're made of. But I'd say 4-0 Barcelona Levante.
You know what I heard? They still gotta wear the same jersey. The
green one.
Yeah.
Which is
Even
weird
for
because
the Levante game.
you've seen the third kit, right? Like it's been leaked all over the place. The
Yeah.
T90 like orange kit.
I tried looking to see like when I saw them come in with the green, I'm like, are you serious? This kid again? But I think it was a referee decision based on like the colors of the teams and stuff. So they were like, hey, you had to wear like glass. Okay.
So-
Well, yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Although I haven't seen them actually post it on
So
their official Instagram.
That's the problem, that they haven't presented it. If they would have presented it, I mean, technically because it's orange, I don't know if they would have been able to play because it's close enough to the red. I don't know, one of those
And
weird.
then the same thing with the Levantes. They can't wear the home jersey because it
Yeah.
looks almost identical.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope Barca presents it soon. But yeah, with that being said, I wish we would have. I mean, yeah. Let's close it off there. I think we've
Yeah.
got enough stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Please, 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 just take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We got a decent amount of subscribers over the last video, decent amount of views. Thank you guys very much for that. We really appreciate it. If there's anything you want to talk about specifically, you want us to cover here, send us a message. Leave it in the comments below. We'll be happy to talk more things. Yeah. Anything? Any closing thoughts?
No, thank you for hearing us talk and give our opinions on the first day of these specific leagues. Like we said, more leagues are coming up next season. I mean, next week.
Yeah.
So happy to see how they start performing.
Yeah. So the Italian League, Bundesliga, and Ligue 1 all kick off next week. So that'll be cool. We'll have a lot more to talk
It
about.
was definitely an eventful weekend for
sure.
soccer for sure.
So with that, we'll leave you guys. Thank you again. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good things. This was 90 Plus. We'll see you next time.
Okay, so yeah.